Aiyetoro scheme is about 500 hectares of land. And we are right at the frontier, facing the express. There are other estates right behind us, far, far down there. So for you buying from Ishura, you are buying the Lekki-Epe Express. As you are turning in, you are turning to your house. You don't need to be struggling to go inward again. So proximity to where? The Lekki-Epe Express.
I would have loved to share a very personal story, but because of time, I will still share the story but summarize it. I started about my career some 15-20 years ago as a property journalist. A lot of my colleagues are here, we are all journalists, but I started out reporting the real estate sector. So specialized reporting was what I started with as a journalist. And I was then writing for the foremost real estate magazine in Lagos. For those of you that know property, I'm sure you know Castle's magazine. So I started out, and at that time I was working as the editor of the magazine. And I remember I was invited by a real estate developer about 15 years ago to come and witness the groundbreaking ceremony of an estate on this axis, just off Eleko Junction there. And so I remember then that my office then was in Ikoyi, and when I was told to come, that there's an estate, a new estate coming up on the Lekki axis, all my mind was that maybe Lekki phase 1, and then maybe maximum at that time, maybe around the Lebushi or Chevron Drive and what have you. Because at that time, I'm talking about just about 15 years ago. If you talk about Lekki real estate, the maximum you'll be talking about would be maybe Aja. That's where everything was happening. So when I was told to come, and I said, okay, the Lekki axis, and I said, where on the Lekki axis? They told me Eleko. And I had to really do a lot of research to know where Eleko was on the Lekki axis. Because at that time, it didn't exist as a property market, I'm sorry. So, but because it's my job, and of course, as a journalist, you have to go looking for information. I had to drive myself on that fateful day. And at some point, I almost turned back because I was like, where am I going to? What's happening here? But I got to the location, I met the developer, and in my mind, I felt they were just joking. Nothing is going to happen here because it was a nice laid estate. You know, they had a very beautiful gatehouse. The greening was good. I think they had 1 or 2 houses already developed as sample houses for their estate. So I had to dig into the mind of the developer to say, why did you leave all the major parts of Lekki? What have you seen here that no other person is seeing? Who is going to buy from you here? What's the foresight? What are you trying to do? In fact, my mind at that time was that maybe it was not really about real estate. Maybe there was crude oil in that location. They were just using real estate to... And I remember that the developer then, you know, told me to leave my car. They took me in their own car, and we drove around this entire environment. And all the major projects today, you had signboards saying proposed Deep Sea Port, proposed Lekki Free Trade Zone, proposed this. Nothing had been done at that time. I'm not saying 40 or 50 years ago. I'm saying about 15 years ago. So it's not as if we are talking about 1 century ago or 50 years ago. Just recently. So when they drove me around, the woman told me that, you know what, don't worry, 5 years again, I'm going to invite you to come and see this particular location. And to the glory of God, I was alive. About 3 or 4 years after, I was invited again to that estate. And I was shocked by what had become of that particular estate. For any of you who don't know, the estate is Amen Estate. The same Amen Estate today is now the estate everybody is talking about. Some of our major celebrities live in that estate. I'm sure they have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and it has become an iconic project when it comes to real estate on the Lekki axis. That is the story of real estate investment in Lagos, and not just in Lagos, on the Lekki axis. Parkview Investment Limited now has an estate facing the Lekki-Epe expressway directly. If you understand what real estate investment is about, that is a big deal. While we're coming all the way from the mainland, I'm sure a lot of us, for those of us who are quite observant, would have seen a number of estates on the Lekki-Epe expressway. I say on, not off the Lekki-Epe expressway. And I want to say that you can do your own personal research. And when I say research now, I'm talking about the prices of those estates, what plots are selling for in those estates. I think one of the estates already selling 100 million naira per plot. Just some few minutes from this place, one of the estates, we have those that are already selling for 70 million, 50 million. So if you have the opportunity to buy anything at all, from as small as 300 square meter to 500 square meter for between 20 million and 50 million naira, please, if you are listening to me from anywhere in the world, that is a giveaway. Please invest now. But I'm sure that this offer is not going to last for more than, I don't know whether it's going to last for more than 2 months. So it's a promotional offer. You know what you call the off-taker offer, the estate is just selling, and this is an offer to, of course, unveil the estate.
Láti London, America, Canada. Mama, orúkọ yìí ta rí bẹ́ẹ̀ la ṣe rà o. A ti mọ̀ pé wọ́n ní ṣe 419, a ti mọ̀ pé wọ́n ní gbówó wa lọ. Àwọn ọmọ náà wá tì mí lójú. Wọ́n jẹ́ kójú tì mí. Wọ́n jẹ́ kó sọ pé police station yá lẹ́nu. Níbi tá a ti polówó wọn fọlọ́pàá wa kó wa. Ó tì o. Àti Mr. Ṣẹ́gun Ọ̀ṣídàìró, Ìdòwú Òkègbèrò, wọ́n ń gbé mi ní ìkáàkiri. Ìlòdì ó pọ̀. Ó jẹ́ faramọ́ lóore, ó jẹ́ faramọ́ lórí ire èèyàn, kó máa jìyà. Ìṣúra níbi tí ẹ bá tò ìṣúra sí, èèrà ò lè débẹ̀. Sórí eléyìí, mákẹ́tà, as usual, ìjọba pẹ́tẹ́ mi máa ń sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ ni pé bó o bá ṣe ṣiṣẹ́ sí ló máa bára ẹ̀. Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́. Ẹ polówó, ẹ tà.
To be able to acquire this Ishura estate of one of the 27 estates that they have, I think it's a big achievement. And I hope that people will buy into this, because as youth, we do not have to waste money on many things that are wasted money upon these days. You need to have some investment, and you need to put some money aside to be able to fulfill these investments. Whatever you buy today, I can assure you from my own experience that in a few months, we're not even talking of a year now, in a few months you will realize that you have invested your money very wisely.